creating a news agenda that reflects an unbiased view of Asian current affairs without relying on external news sources. Asia Vision, Asian news through Asian eyes.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome to AVN News. I am Mariam Shaushat here to bring you the global news that matters. In the next half hour, we'll cover everything from world politics to cultural insights. Stay tuned. At least 74 people, including 35 farmers, were killed by lightning strikes over the last 38 days across Bangladesh until May 8th, with experts telling Anadolu that climate change impact was the primary reason behind such incidents. In a single day, 11 people died and 9 others were injured by lightning strikes this May.
In first 8 days in this month, 43 people were killed by lightning in Bangladesh. A non-governmental organization, Save the Society and Thunderstorm Awareness Forum, has reported that 31 more people were killed by thunderstorm in previous month. Bangladesh, being a delta country surrounded by Bay of Bengal, is experiencing more frequent and deadly lightning strikes. The number of deaths caused by lightning strikes has been rising in recent years in Bangladesh, fueled by climate change. The UN report says the country records an average of 300 deaths by lightning strikes every year, compared to fewer than 20 annually in the United States, which has almost doubled the population. 1 in 4 deaths caused by lightning strikes globally occurs in Bangladesh. The government declared thunderstorm as a national disaster in 2016 and took various steps, but this showed a little impact. The majority of victims are farmers, who are vulnerable to the elements as they work the fields through the rainy monsoon months in the spring and summer. Experts said it was apparently due to climate change, as well as deforestation plays a part in the rising number of lightning strikes, as tall trees that would have drawn the lightning strikes keep disappearing. In April, the previous month, Bangladesh has experienced its longest heat wave in recorded history since 1948, and for the first time, nearly 75 to 80% of this country experienced continuous heat waves.
India's Met Department is predicting the onset of monsoon in India in the upcoming 24 hours after the severe heat wave conditions this summer due to El Nino effect and anticyclonic circulation.
Delhi and other northwest states are reeling under intense spell of heat wave. And to talk about that, I have with me Dr. M. Mohapatra, the Director General of IMD. Sir, we're seeing a red color warning, orange color warning out here in the northwest part of the country. Give us a brief idea. When can we expect a respite from that, and why, particularly this year, we are seeing such a surge in intense heat?
We have given red color and orange color warning for many parts of northwest India and adjacent areas. In these areas, severe heat wave conditions are prevailing, which commenced around 16th of May over West Rajasthan and gradually expanded to over the entire areas. But from today onwards, a western disturbance is approaching towards northwest India. Therefore, this rising heat over northwest India will be confronted with these cold winds and temperature will fall.
Is there any chance that the strengthening of the El Nino earlier in the year had an impact on this surge in the intense heat?
Yeah, this was the El Nino year, and during El Nino year, climatologically we experienced more heat wave days over northwest India, and that could be one of the large-scale reason for the occurrence of longer spell over northwest India. But in addition to that, during this period, there was subsidence of air. That means air was moving from the middle troposphere towards the ground, which results in compression of air and hence the warming. And at the same time, there was no western disturbance after May 15 affecting northwest India. So combination of all these led to intense heat wave spells.
Is there any chance the IMD is going to declare the onset of monsoon by today or tomorrow? Because we are seeing a large-scale rainfall activity in Kerala.
The large-scale rainfall activity over Kerala and Lakshadweep area is continuing past few days. At the same time, also the stronger westerly winds are prevailing over Southeast Arabian Sea and Kerala and adjoining areas. Depth of westerlies are extending up to about 4.5 kilometers. So it is becoming more favorable for advance of monsoon. So we are expecting onset of monsoon over Kerala during the next 24 hours. That means by tomorrow.
So by tomorrow, the onset of monsoon will take place over Kerala, and people in northwest part of the country will also get some respite from this intense heat. With Campus Rajesh, this is Tapush Bhattacharya for GD India from Delhi.
Zambian President Hakainde Hichilema says there is need to map underground water resource to support irrigation programs to respond to the drought that has affected crop yields.
In some portions beneath the earth are aquifers and water reservoirs. However, this life-giving resource underground is diminishing, succumbing to the prolonged dry spell which has cast a dark cloud on the crop yields. President Hakainde Hichilema now wants the country's underground water to be mapped to support irrigation programs that will give life to crops. Speaking when he met a delegation of 9 Finnish members of parliament who paid a courtesy call on him at State House this afternoon, President Hichilema says Zambia will engage Finland's expertise on the matter.
If it wasn't for the drought this year, the country was going to harvest the largest quantum of crops. Because the citizens answered our call to produce food for themselves and for the region and beyond. But the drought came, therefore the issue for us of irrigation agriculture becomes very important, and mapping water, underground water, surface water, harvesting water is very, very important to us to support this agenda we have to enhance, increase our agricultural production, as it were, but also productivity.
President Hichilema also said the country will engage Finland in improving its weather forecasting capabilities to provide the right information to farmers so that weather-related damages and losses are prevented.
We acknowledge your strength in forestry, weather forecasting, which is again important to us. I think if we had been able to advise our farmers a little bit better on a timely basis, I think we would have ameliorated the damage to the crop that we've experienced. So like Your Excellency, Ambassador and team leader, to work together in this space so that we can sharpen our abilities to assist the agricultural sector, the farmers.
Speaking at the same event, Finnish MP's delegation leader, Krista Mikkonen, said the Finnish private sector has a growing interest to invest in Zambia's forestry, sustainable mining and meteorology sectors.
Interest among Finnish private sector towards Zambia has grown in the past years, particularly in sectors such as sustainable and environmentally friendly mining, forestry, meteorology, circular economy and education. We share an interest to deepen the economic diplomacy between our two countries.
Ms. Mikkonen also called for strengthening of relations between Zambia and Finland. She added that she is happy to see some movement regarding the conclusion of negotiations of Zambia's debt.
We acknowledge the difficult macroeconomic circumstances facing Zambia, in particular the unresolved debt restructuring and very difficult road situation at the moment. We are pleased to see positive movement on the debt issue and hope for its swift resolution to unlock the country's full potential.
Masauso Mukwayaya, ZNBC News, State House, Lusaka.
International Tea Day is observed every year on May 21st to raise awareness of the long history and the deep cultural and economic significance of tea around the world.
Tea is the world's most consumed drink after water. It is believed that tea originated in Northeast India, North Myanmar and Southwest China. Tea production and processing constitutes main source of livelihoods for millions of families in developing countries. India is one of the largest producers in the world. A number of renowned teas such as Assam and Darjeeling tea grow exclusively in India.
If you trace back, it is over a century, more than 1.5 century old. But you see, the importance I can justify. The first thing when you get up in the morning is a cup of tea. Your day doesn't start with a cup of tea. And tea from Assam, we have got inherent quality here, which the liquor, the flavor which we have here, the body, the strength, is not available in other parts of the country. You may have flavor in Darjeeling, but when it comes to an overall quality, Assam is known for its tea quality.
In an effort to support and address the declining per capita consumption in traditional importing countries, the UN General Assembly decided to designate 21st May as International Tea Day. This year, International Tea Day highlights women and their role in the tea sector while working to make its production sustainable from field to cup, ensuring its benefits for people, cultures and the environment continues for generations.
In the last 3-4 years is noticeable because the rainfall pattern, everything what we had earlier is absolutely changing. We are getting at the end of the day the same quantity of rainfall, but the distribution pattern is absolutely changed. So accordingly, we also have to adjust ourselves towards the growing of tea, planting of young teas, irrigation, which was not heard of in Upper Assam much, is a basic necessary need of Upper Assam.
Changes in temperature and rainfall patterns with more floods and droughts are already affecting yields, tea product quality and prices, lowering incomes and threatening rural livelihoods. These climate changes are expected to intensify, calling for urgent adaptation measures. In parallel, there is a growing recognition of the need to contribute to climate change mitigation by reducing carbon emissions from tea production and processing.
It is International Tea Day and this year's theme is on empowerment of women. And it is a day to not just celebrate the cultural heritage of this tea tribe community, but also talk about the health benefits and economic importance of the tea industry while working on its sustainable production and its role in maintaining a good future towards building a sustainable future. With DDK Dibrugarh team, Subina Roy, TT India.
Most cities and towns would like to be on the global map or gain national and international recognition for something unique. West Bengal's Murshidabad has similar aspirations. The locals want a Bengali sweet meat, namely chana bora, which was first made in Murshidabad in the 16th century, to be given the Indian government's geographical identification or GI tag, so that the region can benefit from it. DD India correspondent Gautam Roy reports.
Bengalis are known for their sweet tooth and passion for fine cuisines. The variety of cottage cheese or chena-based sweets in West Bengal is mind-boggling. The Rasgulla and Gulab Jamun are famed worldwide. But have you heard of chana bora?
Chana bora is made completely with cottage cheese and deep fried in ghee. It's our favorite. We also put a little bit of maida and sugar and then fry it.
It's a sweetmeat which was first made in Murshidabad in the 16th century and is unique to this area, which is going to polls on the 7th of May in the third phase of India's national elections. Legend has it that Murshidabad's Qasim Bazar Maharaja Monin Chandra Nandi was tired of serving the usual sweets to his guests. He's directed his chef Patal Ustad to make something which is neither Rasgulla nor Pantua, and the Ustad came up with chana bora. If you come to Murshidabad and don't try the unique and legendary chana bora, then they say your trip hasn't been worthwhile. So let's give it a try. Juicy, caramelly,
Slightly hard, but on the outside, but soft on the inside. A bit like Kala Jam, but different.
The extra heat and thicker than usual sugar syrup gives the chana bora a longer shelf life than other cottage cheese-based sweets. And in election season, Murshidabad sweetmeat makers are pushing for it to be given a geographical indicator tag by the central government.
We want to put the quality sweetmeats of Murshidabad on the global map. GI tag is very important for that purpose. We also want the GI tag because we would like our small town to get more business and prosper through national and international recognition.
There's a tradition among Murshidabad and its twin city Behrampur's sweetmeat makers to also gift outside chana boras to guests and esteemed visitors who've ranged from politicians to film stars.
When Congress's Rahul Gandhi and former President Pranab Mukherjee came to Behrampur to hold their political rallies, they had come to our shop and tasted our chana bora. Even stars from Bollywood and Tollywood have come here and appreciated our sweet. Whenever Prime Minister Narendra Modi comes to Behrampur, we would like to gift him a giant chana bora.
Who doesn't want to stand out in a crowd? Murshidabad sweetmeat makers feel that they've got what it takes to make chana bora the region's landmark product. They're calling the attention of the political leadership in election season to put Murshidabad on the national culinary and gourmet map. With cameraperson Uttam Singh, Gautam Roy, Murshidabad, West Bengal, DD India.
The city of Ambala in India's Haryana has over 2,100 micro, small and medium industrial units. With much of the workforce employed in industrial labour, the voters of this region put the issues of industry infrastructure and employment issues at the forefront amid elections.
The Scientific Instruments Industrial Cluster at Haryana's Ambala, which has not been in the best of health in the past few years, is crying for attention. Home to more than 2,100 micro, small and medium industrial units manufacturing scientific instruments used in educational institutes like microscopes, incubators, glassware, the Ambala Industrial Cluster has been manufacturing and supplying scientific instruments since 1914, not only in the country but all over the world.
Ambala has been Asia's biggest market for the last 100 years. All the instruments are manufactured here. They were all supplied to engineering and medical colleges as well as for the satellite production.
उसमें भी कई parts Ambala से बन के जाते हैं. And yet, the cluster cries for immediate attention. As political parties come seeking votes at their door, people here have their demands ready.
Here, the industry is very small. Laborers are working from home. Because of this, people from the pollution board disturb us. Neighbors accuse us of creating disturbance as well. So we need an industrial area plot of about 150 to 200 yards because we work on a smaller scale.
ताकि हम एक जाके हम वहाँ पे इजी तरीके से अपना काम को कर सकें.
We have always lacked skilled labor here. In present times, people lack the budget to convert to automation. Ambala Kant is a small-scale industry.
यहाँ पर scientific industry
We have an old base of scientific industry here, along with the brand, but we lack local infrastructure. So government aid towards export facilities will be beneficial.
फिर भी यहाँ पर हमें क्या है local थोड़ा सा infrastructure.
Though mainly unorganized, these units put together have an annual turnover of more than 3,000 crore rupees and provide employment to more than 20,000 people.
As Haryana prepares to vote this Saturday, its livelihood issues which matter most to people, like this scientific manufacturing industrial cluster of Ambala, which cries for attention, urgently seeking the policy makers to hear and meet their demands. With cameraman Saurabh Bakshi, this is Amritpal Singh for DD India in Ambala.
And with that, we conclude this edition of ABN News. Thank you all for watching. Hoping you all enjoyed the stories and insights we shared. From all of us here in PSM News, we bid you a good night.
Creating a news agenda that reflects an unbiased view of Asian current affairs without relying on external news sources. Asia Vision, Asian news through Asian eyes.
ಬಾಕಿ ಅಮಿಲ್ಲವಂತಕಮ್ಗೆ ರಂಜು ಎಬ್ಬಾವಂತಕಮ್ಗೆ ವಾಫ ಅದಿ ಕೌಮಿಯತ್ಗೆ ಅಸಾಸ್ ಬಹಗುಳೆ ಮೌಲುಮಾತಕಿ ಹಮ ಕೊಮ್ಮೆ ಮೀಹಕವಿಸ್ ಎಂಗೆಂಜೆ ಅಸಾಸಿ ಬೈ